an AFL game yet?
Yeah, I think that Josh probably touched on it before. It's probably the environment that's created by all the staff and the playing group. We've sort of spoken about it recently going into the season, and it is just a place you want to be at. We're all pushing, regardless of where you are in the club. Everyone's just pushing for success. So, yeah, I think just enjoying every day, and probably the transition from moving from Melbourne, it's been pretty seamless. So that makes it a lot easier to stay.
What have you made of living in Adelaide as a footballer?
It's been pretty awesome. I haven't had to fly under the radar a bit, which is pretty nice. But yeah, everyone here is pretty wonderful, and the weather is a touch nicer than Melbourne as well, so that helps.
And what has it been like? I mean, you've been competing really well. The reports have been glowing for you. How have you enjoyed working with Sam and also Scotty to get that one-on-one work against those boys?
Yeah, I think Scoot and Hazy have been really awesome for my development. Also Lobes coming back as a coach, because yeah, until now I haven't really versed these bigger bodies coming from underage. So yeah, everyone's got years of knowledge that they're really willing to give out to me, and yeah, just appreciative of everyone helping me out, and it's probably fast tracking my development hopefully.
How did the process unfold for you, mate, in terms of speaking with your manager and it all being stitched up?
Yeah, so my manager sort of let me know that something was in the works with the club, and then after a couple sort of weeks of talks, sort of locked in the deal, and it's probably similar to Josh. We both got Paul Collins as the manager, so for me, it was a no-brainer just to get more years on an AFL list. As a bit of a tool, just to keep developing and trying to plumb my craft.
Was it a pleasant surprise for you that you come here with a 2-year deal and suddenly it's up to 4 straight away? You got obviously a lot more time to develop.
Yeah, it's really a little bit of peace of mind, and I'm very grateful for the confidence that the club's put into me. Sort of reassures that what I'm doing is in the right direction, and just shows that I'm on the right track.
Extremely difficult to know this early on in your career, but do you have a bit of a gauge where you might be in the pecking order?
That is extremely difficult to know, probably. I think at this point in time, I'm just trying to probably start in the sample and play well there, get used to the bigger bodies, and I probably wouldn't comment on the pecking order. It's not really something for me to know at this point.
Where do you see your sort of split being this year? I imagine a bit of ruck and a bit of forward.
I guess depending on the dynamic of the team, probably maybe a bit more ruck, but definitely see myself in both positions.
So you mentioned the bigger bodies. How much, if you are trying to, how much weight do you need to put on? How much of a goal is that for this year as well?
It's probably one of the big pre-season targets that I've had, especially just being able to have consistent gym and high level of nutrition. Put on a few kilos, which has been nice, and just generally a bit stronger in the gym. So I think the aim will just keep increasing strength and a little bit of size, but probably once I reach a weight that our nutritionist is happy with, probably just try and just keep building strength from there.
So you've already put on a couple of kilos, which is good.
Yeah.
What's the sort of eating program for someone who needs to put on a couple of kilos?
The green light.
Just plenty of protein.
We're going to need more than plenty of protein. What do you get to? Do you sort of have a bit of a license to eat whatever you want as long as you work hard?
No, I wouldn't really say. I wouldn't say that. You're still eating pretty clean. Probably just more volume than what you might be used to. But just veggies, carbs, protein. Just keeping it nice and consistent.
How many meals are we talking a day?
Probably 4 to 5, somewhere around that.
Want to do that?
You touched on a little bit last time we spoke to you about Josh and how long you've known him. Can you just go over that again in terms of your relationship and also whether you knew Ollie through Sandy as well?
So more so Josh than Ollie, because Ollie's a bit older than we are. But yeah, fortunate enough to grow up with Josh and sort of come through the ranks with him. And yeah, sort of the most ideal situation you could have, moving to a different state with like a really good mate and someone you've played a lot of footy with. And I think I mentioned it earlier in the year that not only does that help off field, but also when we are playing on the same team, I think that will help us in the long run. Just a bit of chemistry.
And who are you living with at the moment?
I'm currently living with Lockie Jones and Marty Frederick.
What's that like?
It's awesome, yeah. We're sort of recently moved in, bought a few appliances recently. But yeah, they're both very switched on and it's a good household to be in.
How have you found that sort of transitioning into living, I don't know what your living situation was back home, but I imagine solo out at home with a couple of boys. How have you found that transition?
I think probably just puts a bit more onus on me, and I kind of like that because it gets to a stage where whilst it's nice to have people cooking for you and being less independent, I think because I've moved out, it sort of feels like the right time to be taking on a bit more, and in reality it's not too hard when we're all pretty clean and tidy and they're pretty good at cooking, so yeah, just got to work on a few recipes and stuff like that.